underestimate them, they're going to go ahead and make you pay for it. You saw from the beginning of this game, LeBron, KD, all parties involved were not going to go ahead and play with their food, the saying we like to use a lot in the NBA. They came out and established their dominance early. On top of that, you also saw better ball movement, I think, than you saw in that exhibition game. You saw everybody getting a touch, multiple players in double digits. So I think that ultimately the game plan going in there was just to establish your dominance early, both offensively and defensively, and not giving South Sudan the opportunity to do things that they do very well, and that is control the pace and play to their athleticism. Team USA kind of took all that away from them.
You talk about spreading it around and a lot of players impacting the game. Jason Tatum was in the game. He got in 4 points, 5 rebounds, a couple assists. What did you see from him in his first action in the Olympics?
A little rust to start off the game, which is kind of why, if you are a Jason Tatum fan or you've just been following Team USA, you kind of wanted him to get some minutes in that first game against Serbia, just because when you play FIBA rules, it's a different level of intensity. You're allowed to get away with certain things that you can't do in the NBA. The rules are different. We saw that in this game, very physical at some points. Also in the Serbian game, you saw that very physical at some point. So Jason Tatum had to knock the rust off a little bit, and he looked a little shaky there, but I think once he found his groove, you realize what just a huge asset he is when you play him in the right spots. And obviously, in order to play him, Joel Embiid had to go ahead and get his minutes completely cut. You can't play everybody. If you had to go ahead, though, and pick a player that has been better suited or will be better suited for this offense in the long term, you always are going to go ahead with Jason Tatum over Joel Embiid. He's been struggling to find where he fits with the construction of this team, and it just wasn't working, and that became evident in that game against Serbia.
Bam Adebayo leading the way, 18 points, 7 rebounds. He looked like prime Dwight Howard out there on the court at times. Why has he been so successful at times on this team that's just full of so many other players that you would think about before him?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't get that kind of productivity from him in that first game. He only had 4 points. I think in this specific game, excuse me, I just think the FIBA rules kind of work to the type of player that he is. Now, it is very streaky, though, when it comes to his shooting and when he gets hot and when he doesn't. As you can see in that second half, it was a completely different story, a much quieter half from him than you saw in the quarter that he came in to replace Anthony Davis when he tweaked his ankle a little bit. But I will say, though, if you got this version of him in Miami, you wouldn't have to rely on Jimmy Butler so much. So I know that Pat Riley and company are going to expect, this version of him going into this upcoming season.